Hi, this is Joachim for statisticsplot.com, and in this video I will show you how to set the axis limits of a facet rep ggplot2 plot in the R programming language. So in the video I'm going to show you several examples, and all of these examples are based on the data that we can create with lines 1 to 7 of the code. So if you run these lines of code, you will see that at the top right of RStudio a new data frame object appears. And by running line 8 of the code, we can see the structure of our data at the bottom in the RStudio console. And as you can see, our data contains 3 variables, x, y, and a grouping variable. Now, if we want to plot data with the ggplot2 package, we also need to install and load the ggplot2 package, as you can see in lines 10 and 11 of the code. I have installed the package already, so I'm just going to load it with line 11 of the code. And now we are able to use the functions of the ggplot2 package. If we want to draw a basic facet rep plot with the ggplot2 package, we can use the code that you can see in lines 13 to 15. So if you run these lines of code, you will see that at the top right of RStudio a new plot object appears. And we can also draw this plot by running line 16 of the code. And then you can see that at the bottom right of RStudio, our plot is shown. And as you can see, this plot is showing a facet plot with 2 different panels, and each of the panels has the same axis limits. So let's assume that we want to fit each of these axis limits to the points that are shown in the panel. Then we can apply the code that you can see in line 19. So in this line of code, we are specifying the scales to be equal to 3. So if you run lines 18 plus 19 of the code, you can see that the axis limits are changed. So now the y-axis of the left panel is ranging from minus 30 to plus 30. And on the right panel, it's ranging from minus 40 to plus 60. And also the x-axis are different in both panels. So in other words, if you use the scales equal to 3 argument, then the x-axis as well as the y-axis limits will be different in both plots. Now, what you can also do is that you only set the x-axis limits to be equal to 3. And this is what I'm showing you in the next example in lines 21 and 22. So here we are setting the scales argument to be equal to 3 underline x. And if we run these lines of code, you will see that our y-axis is the same for both plots, but the x-axis limits are different for the 2 panels. Now we can do the opposite by setting the scales argument to be equal to 3y. So this is what we are doing in lines 24 and 25. So now you can see that the x-axis limits are kept the same, but the y-axis limits are different. Yeah, and in the last example, I want to show you how to set the scales of one axis to be equal to 3 and to manually specify the axis limits of the other axis. So in this example, I'm showing you how to set the y-axis 3. And this is what we are doing here with the scales equal to 3y argument. And then we are also specifying the x limits to be between the range minus 10 and plus 10. So if you run lines 27 to 29 of the code, you will see that the y-axis is 3 and the x-axis is ranging from minus 10 to plus 10. So in this video you have learned how to set the axis limits of a facet rep ggplot2 plot in the R programming language. However, in case you want to learn more on this topic, you could check out my homepage statisticsplot.com, because on the homepage I have recently published a tutorial in which I'm explaining the content of this video in some more detail, and I will put a link to this tutorial into the description of the video. Furthermore, if you have liked the video, I would be very happy if you leave me some positive feedback in the comments. And make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel to get notifications in future when I'm releasing new videos to the channel. That's it for this video. Thanks a lot. See you next time.